Okay, hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel and video. Today I'm going to talk about the watch face, which is definitely the interesting topic for any smartwatches, especially this new breed of Android watches. So this is the standard watch face or original watch face you will see when you first get this LEMFO LES 1. Now I want to touch about something really interesting about this watch. So a lot of people have seen like nice watch faces and everything, and there is a lot of discussion around how do you change the watch face. Now another thing is, how do I get rid of this ugly watch face? Whenever I turn on the gesture options and when I flip the watch up front, this is the clock I see instead of the actual watch face behind that. Alright, so if you close your watch, turn off your watch and you flick it, you'll be able to see this, and when you touch it quickly it goes into the watch face. Now I have installed or put in plenty of other watch faces into this watch, as you can see here. So those up front of those few up front is the standard watch, so these are all the additional extra watch faces that I have installed. Now problem is, if I were to just select one of these, okay, so this is partially working, but there are some of the images here on the watch face that is not showing up correctly. Let me pick another example. So if I were to pick this one, you can see that the dial on top is out of place. You can see the needle on the side and it doesn't show up on the center. Now the other two dials is working, but one of it is out. Alright, let me show you another example. Okay, so this one, you can see as well the dial up here is missing, and if I were to hold on it, you can see that it should have a dial up here, but when I go into it, it's not working well. So I think this one is not working well as well. You can see that dial missing there. So it's not perfect or not working as intended. I think this one has an issue as well. If I go into it, you can see the dial is missing and certain things just doesn't work. Now I have a few, this one is one of those that are not working as well. You can see the battery meter is not working, or some of the stuff is just acting weird. This one looks fine. So I have a lot more watch faces installed, but it's not showing up here because basically the additional watch faces I have installed here are Android Ware watch faces, which this launcher doesn't support. Another example, you can see that the dials are out of place. So this is a very common thing that new people will see when you buy this watch. Okay, now how do you fix this problem? What you need to do is go down, go down and install this application. So I have it pushed into my watch. So the application is called Clock Skin Coco. I have 2.0.7 version on my watch. So I'm gonna install this. Next, install. Can take some time. Now it's done. I just click on open. So you can see basically there are two launchers. One is watch, one is clock skin. So what I do is I will select the clock skin and just click OK. Go back and activate it. Go back. Go back. Okay, so what I will do now is to launch the clock skin. So immediately you can see another watch face popping up here. So what I can do is double tap it, change skin, and now I have a whole lot of other watch skins just popping up. Some are similar, some are extra. Now I want to show you this one. This one is an example of Android Ware watch face. Now if I were to press on the logo, you can see that it is an interactive watch face, and I can scroll through some colors and do certain things. I want to show you some other watch skins as well quickly. So I'll just scroll by. There's one that is pretty interesting that I really want to show you. So this one, so this is pretty interesting. It's very basic, minimalistic, and you know, don't let the skin fool you. It's a very complicated watch. So what you can do is when you press each of the icon, it has a different function. So the first one is clock, the second one it's weather. I didn't have my Wi-Fi turned on right now. I don't have internet connection, but if you do, it will. Well, let me just show you, right? So if you do, you will be able to see the weather updated in a bit. Now this is the fitness app. You can see your steps and also your heart rate, and then there is a stopwatch where you can start, stop, reset. So all very interesting stuff. Now this launcher has some issues or a small bug where your location, if you turn on the weather, it's always going to show Paris, alright, and it doesn't get your local weather. Right now I'm in Malaysia, it doesn't update to the Malaysian weather, so it's not accurate for me. I don't really care. I don't really need a weather app to tell me what's the weather outside. I can see it outside the window, so it doesn't bother me. But this launcher supports Android Wear watch faces. Now that is key. So you get all these very sweet watch faces which you do not get outside of the box when you first buy this watch. Okay, so that is a very important thing to note. Now, okay, so it says weather updated. So if I go here, you can see the maximum temperature and some weather information, whether it's sunny or not, stuff like that. But again, this is Paris weather. Right now it's not my local weather. I'm in Malaysia, and it's not showing correctly for me. I don't care. Now again, if I were to power this off and I were to flip my watch, you can see that it's still showing that ugly watch face, as though it came out from the box stop, right? And I really dislike this watch. What I want is to see this watch when I flip it over, when I flip my watch over. So how do I solve this problem? Okay, what everyone would normally do is come to the settings and turn on the gesture. All right, that is turn on the gesture. And if I turn it back off again, flick it, it still doesn't work. You know, it still doesn't come to the watch face that I have selected. So after some trial and error, I found out that I need to go into the settings, basically go to gestures, and I have to screen on raising. I have to turn this thing off. Okay, and when I swipe down, this one is to turn on. Okay, so if I were to show it again, bam, now it shows, it goes straight into the watch face that I selected. Now I just want to go to something else. Alright, so this will be easier to see. So again, this is another interactive watch face where you can see I have certain functions. You know, I can play around with it. You know, it's really cool. Again, current weather might not be accurate to where you are unless you live in France. The developer knows about it, but you know, he hasn't got the time to change it just yet. No big deal for me. I don't really care. Tons of other skins. Okay. Really sweet. So I basically found out the hard way. What I did was I uninstalled this launcher, go back to the default launcher, and disabled this from the default launcher and reinstalled the launcher, and found out the hard way to get this working. But what you need to know is the settings in here, the gesture settings, or this settings interface is controlling the default launcher underneath the new launcher that you have installed. I do not know how to explain this in order to make sense to you, but basically you are putting another layer on top of the existing launcher. So this launcher right now is sitting on top of the existing launcher, and the settings in here does not control the settings for this launcher that is sitting on top. It's controlling the launcher that is sitting underneath this launcher, which is why sometimes you might find that things are a little bit weird when you try to play around with the settings and it doesn't go according to what you desire or selected. Okay, so tons of, now this launcher again, it's not 100% perfect. Sometimes you will get bugs, sometimes you might get it to work, sometimes you don't. So but you can see for the most part it's really sweet that a lot of things are working. Now there are some bugs here on top, you can see that it's not showing really correctly, but at least the stopwatch works, right? So you can see there are bugs here as well. You can see now it's messed up. Okay, so that is an example. I have another cashier here. Now this guy kind of works as well. Right. Really sweet. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to you. So what I like to do is, again, I will keep my installer file for the clock skin Coco inside my watch. Okay, I've been installing watch faces non-stop for the past 2 weeks now, so I will keep this file ever ready inside my watch. Okay, if reason why is sometimes this launcher gets messed up, and if you face issues when it's buggy, sometimes you are unable to change the skin. When you click change skin, it doesn't pop out the options for you to do it. So whenever that happens, you just go and just uninstall this launcher, reinstall it again, and everything will be fine. So again, this watch is by no means perfect. You should know about this upfront. If you were to buy it, it's not perfect. If you are just happy with the standard skins that come outside of the box, then you know, you're cool. But for me, I want something a lot more. I want something better. These Android Ware watch faces are a lot more interactive. and I can do a lot more stuff with it, and I really like it. Okay, if this is what you want to do as well, you probably have to follow these same steps. So going back to my first video, like I said, this is a watch for people who wants to tinker around. Okay, if you just want a watch that comes outside of the box, good to go, this one might not be for you. Okay. Where do you get the Skin Coco app, you might ask? You can get it, you know, if you Google, you should be able to find it. I don't really want to share it on my channel because I haven't requested permission to do so. Shouldn't be that hard, and if you have real difficulty looking for it, just hit me up and then I'll see if I can share it with you guys. Okay. So yeah, any other questions? Battery life, again, I do not know how many percent we started with, but you can go back and see at the start of this video how many percent it was. Right now it's 64. Okay, again, I stressed about battery life. Battery life is one of the biggest issues. Let me just show you how long this guy has been turned on. Let me go to the settings. Where is it? Did I miss it? Power usage. Okay. So as you can see, I started off about 90%, and ever since I started the YouTube review, you can see a massive dip in the battery. That was just like a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, basically the watch idle and the screen takes up the most battery life. And if I were to go into the clock idle, I can see that it's on for about 2 hours and 22 minutes, 2 hours and 22 minutes, and it's right now at 67% already. So yeah, you probably will get 3 hours, 50% for 3 hours. That is if you use it conservatively. You can see the massive dip, and that was just me playing for a couple of minutes. So you can see how, I do not know if you are able to estimate the so you can see the screen time was only on for 42 minutes in total. For the 2 hours it was only on for 42 minutes, and it's drained about 40 something percent already. And if you're asking me how bright my display is, it's currently at slightly below 50%. You can see right above the B. Right, it's not cranked up at 50%. It's not even at 50%, and it's not even, you know, halfway through the bar. It's enough for me to read it indoors, look nice and pretty and everything. But again, optimization for the launcher and OS probably hasn't been done very well yet. So battery drain is a big issue. Okay, I'm swaying too far away from where I started. Again, I just want to show you the launcher. At the same time, I want to touch a bit on the battery life. If you have any questions, anything that you want to ask, You know, if you have this watch and you have some issues, hit me up, and again, I'll try to answer your questions. Okay, should you buy this? Yes, of course, but know what you're buying into. Okay, thank you.